Sego Seguego, Angelina Bombay, Niyang Gets, Wagit Nyado, Tatnu, Ashwigan Nidi Wageno, Ganyo Gehaga, Niwagwinchodo. Hi, my name is Angelina Bombay. I'm from Six Nations of the Grand River, Ontario, and I'm Mohawk Turtle Clan. The sport I play is softball at Humber College. Yeah, see, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. Last year I would do like low 50s. So, okay.
China ni yung gets nawala ni magit deloden. Ganigahaga ni magohan Jordan. There was asa ni magosiliado. My name is Angelina. It means she brings joy. My English name is Kalani. My last name is Thomas. And I'm Mohawk Nation Turtle Clan. And I'm 23 years old. And I'm from Six Nations.
Jindazay Indigenous Makonodem, Deshkanzibing in Donjaba, and Ashnabe Boykoy and Dao. My name is Jindazay Waidai. I'm from Chippewa First Nation, and I play volleyball. Growing up, I played baseball and lacrosse, but volleyball came into my life pretty young, and I loved it, so I just stuck with that. I really enjoyed high school. I had a lot of friends and I liked it a lot. I didn't have a lot of struggles academically. I did really well. I was in a STEM, a enriched program in grade 9. I don't know, I enjoyed school. Math wasn't my favorite, but pretty much everything else I loved. So I started volleyball when I was 12, I think. And I just started in elementary school like everybody does. I just loved it there. So my mom made me try out for a competitive team, which I didn't want to. But she literally drove me to the trial and was like, get out of the car. And I got out and it was the best decision I've ever made. I loved it.
I was around 8 or 9 on Six Nations. That's where I started playing softball. And I went to the first tryout/practice of an Atom team. When I first got there, I was so nervous. When I was younger, I was such a shy kid that I was really scared of new places, new people, things like that. So when I got to the Diamonds, I went out for the first half and I was not doing too well. And then I came up after the break we had to my mom and I said, Mom, can we go? And she's not the typical parent who is oh, it's fine, go do it. She was fine, let's go then. And then that just awoke something in me to be oh, I should give this another chance. So I did, and I actually really enjoyed it. And then when the practice was over, my mom was driving me home and I sat in the back of the band saying, I don't know why I didn't love softball. And so my mom chuckles every time I tell that story because if she wasn't there and she just told me, okay, let's just go home, I would have never pursued the sport I love.
I play basketball. I've always played in the background, I guess. It wasn't ever my main sport. I started playing because my dad was always playing. It's not really big in our community at Six Nations. And then I started playing in high school just for our school team. And then I played travel my last year of high school. But I always played with my dad's men's team. I started playing with them at 14. So I was playing with grown men at 14 years old all the way up until pretty much now. I still play with them here and there. But I feel I learned a lot from just being around them and figuring out ways to get around a guy that's 6'4" and I'm 5 foot. So it was pretty fun.
I started playing competitive when I was 13. Yeah, I played for the same club, London Sharks, until I think my 17th year. So I stayed with them pretty much my whole youth career. We were a select division team, which is just under the top division. And then I played in high school. We did really well in high school. I had a lot of club girls on my team. We made it to WASA in my senior year. And then in my last year, I played for LBC. We were more successful on that team. That was probably my favorite year of volleyball.
During high school, I went off the reserve to Assumption College School in Brantford. I was in NAG for the 2017 year, so that's the North American Indigenous Games. And I played softball there for Team Ontario, and we placed second.
I went to McKinnon Park Secondary School in Caledonia. Academically, I started out really good in high school, and then a couple things with family matters and stuff happened in grade 11. So I failed a couple courses in grade 11, In grade 12, I had to make a plan for myself about how to graduate. There was ways to get around certain things. I did like co-op to get the extra hours I needed. It was a struggle to even graduate because I didn't have the facilities to help my mental health when my family was going through it because it was a lot on me. But I still finished my grade 12 year with good grades and pretty much did what I could to finish. Athletically, I played every sport you can name for high school. I played badminton, basketball, lacrosse, hockey, softball. So I think playing all those also helped me get through mentally. I think academically, I wasn't doing so good, but because there was athletics, I was able to get through what I needed to get through. Yeah, I think I achieved what I needed to just by finishing school because a lot of my peers were going down the wrong path, so drinking and alcohol and certain things like that. Just leaning on the sports aspect in order to get me through school was my biggest, I guess, accomplishment.
So growing up, I didn't really know of a lot of like Indigenous female athletes, but when I got to high school, my Indigenous grad coach at Saunders had experience playing. She played varsity basketball for Guelph women's basketball team. Her talking about her experiences in varsity, as a varsity athlete, really inspired me, and I was like, wow, I really want to do that. I know someone who's done it, so I feel like I was like, oh wow, I could probably do it too.
School-wise, definitely my mom. My mom also had a very challenging life growing up, but she pursued it and got her master's. She's an awesome woman that I look up to every day. She always pushes education on us. She tells us that you should always get an education before anything else. Don't chase any boys. Don't do anything else. Make sure you get your education first. So I think I really owe her. She likes the term sound like a broken record, but I think it's always like a good daily reminder to make sure that you should be well educated and make sure you go and pursue that. Don't let anything stop you in the way. There's always good resources out there that can help you achieve your education. In high school, I definitely looked up to my friends. They were really also into academics and really helped me grow as a person. Luckily, I had my sister. I still consider her one of my role models because she's always been there for me. She's like the best older sister, so I'm really glad for her and happy that I have her in my life.
When I was in 9th grade, there was this girl. She was in 12th grade. Her name's Jaden Bomberry. She was like one of my good friends starting out in high school. She went off to Syracuse the next year after, and she played lacrosse there. Looking up to her, she guided me. She's the one that actually got me to start playing lacrosse in grade 9. She was one of my good friends back then, and I think I looked up to her a lot because she was out of the mix. She went to class, she played lacrosse, and seeing her play at a high level was I want to be able to do that too. When I played softball, I had a couple other mentors too, Jess Bomberry and Carrie Lee Weiss. They both played softball at Syracuse. Carrie played on Team Canada too. Having them at practice too, telling us this is what you got to do in order to get there, also helped me. But I feel like there wasn't a lot of basketball players that I could look up to. It was mainly lacrosse or softball. Having them even just say this is what you got to do in order to play where you want to play, I think that paved the pathway for me to start my journey in basketball. Basketball was always the trickier sport to me. I was always in the back burner, and sometimes I'd even get picked last for teams, or people wouldn't play me just because I didn't have experience or certain things like that. My favorite thing about basketball is the grind, how you have to put in work in order to be good at it. But basketball has just been something that took me away from my mental health as well. I used it a lot when the gym first opened on my reserve. I used it a lot. I was there pretty much every day after school, just playing with my friends, and I noticed that it would help me get through what I was going through. I think that's why I leaned on it so much, and that's why I wanted to pursue it. Another reason was because there isn't a lot of basketball players where I come from. It was just interesting to see where it could take me. So that's kind of why I did it too.
I knew volleyball was my life for as long as I can remember. And I knew in high school, halfway through high school, when I was trying to get recruited and people were talking about, are you gonna play? Or other people were looking at playing. And I was yeah, I knew I wasn't ready to say goodbye to volleyball yet. I knew I wanted to play.
There were a lot of challenges and hurdles I had to go through, especially coming from high school to post-secondary. It's just like another big shift because education also at the high school level is also very different wherever you go. I went to McMaster University before this and also played 3 years there. When I came to university, I actually didn't get accepted at first. And so I was like, Mom, like, hey, I didn't get in. And she was like, well, you should send them an email. So I did, telling them what happened, like how I really want to go to the school. And I'm glad she said that because you really have to push for yourself as an Indigenous student, but also like as an Indigenous woman. You got to make sure that you can get your foot in the door. Like you got to fight so hard just to do that. So once you get your foot in the door, you can just push right through in there. That kind of frazzled me at first because I wasn't sure that McMaster wanted me, and I was telling my mom, like, hey, I'm really struggling with this. I feel like McMaster didn't want me and that I'm just in here because I'm Indigenous. But no, that's not true. My mom reassured me and was saying, well, if they didn't want you, they didn't want you, but they did. Just feeling like I didn't belong in a space is really challenging too, especially when you're an Indigenous student in the post-secondary world. Sometimes you're the only Indigenous student in that class or in that whole program, and that's really like a hard hurdle, I guess, to jump over because, again, you have to be a representation kind of like for all people. And some people look at you like you're a book or like a dictionary, but some people just look at you like you're a study, you're just like a case study they have to get to know and answer all their questions for. Taking that step back, standing up for yourself, saying, I'm more than just history. Like I'm a living person. I should be treated this way. Yeah, I feel like every Indigenous student athlete or just athlete at a post-secondary institution feels that way.
I ended up going to play JUCO in the States. JUCO is not for the faint of heart, I think, because everybody's there to go somewhere else. Everybody's there working out. Everybody's there playing hard every day. I feel like if you want to play JUCO, you got to be like a dog, I guess. You got to want something out of it. You can't just go there and just think, oh, this is going to be sweet. Because when I went there, everybody on my team, it felt like everybody on my team was against me, but like with me at the same time, if that makes sense. And I think a lot of people say that same thing because we're all trying to get somewhere. We're all trying to go to the next level, play at the highest level we can. I liked it because a lot of the people there are supportive and they want to get you to go somewhere. I didn't like how mentally it was. I think I didn't have a lot of resources for my mental health. Like here at Humber, we have wellness coaching and certain things like that. At JUCO, they didn't have those types of things. I went through a lot mentally that I didn't know how to deal with. That's one thing I guess I didn't like about it. I don't regret it or anything. I think it was a good experience. I had like offers and stuff for the States. I had a lot of lacrosse offers in Division I, and I had a couple D2s for basketball and lacrosse. More so it was just the money part that I couldn't do. Some schools were asking like, oh, we'll pay half, and half was $60K. And I said, I don't know if I can pay that. And it was American, so that was the other thing. Financially, going back to the States, it wouldn't have been good for me. And then coming to Humber, I wanted to be closer to home, as well as how good the program is. I heard a lot of good things about it always growing up, like Humber this, Humber that. Humber just won a national championship. Humber won OCAA, stuff like that. I didn't know how good everything else was outside of athletics until I came here.
After I finished my undergrad degree at McMaster, I wanted to pursue more education and also play softball because I didn't want to just stop there. I really love my sport and I wanted to play at a higher level. So I applied to Humber in the theater production program and I got in. Next step was to go to the tryouts for the Humber softball team. And that was very anxiety-inducing, but I'm glad I got to be there. All the girls were really friendly at the beginning, so that was really fun.
My club team, my club coach, Sean Pella, was friends with Chris, who's my head coach now. And so he set up like a scrimmage in like the beginning of the season for my 18-year year. And we came to Humber and we played their team and they rocked us. Like just, it was so bad. But yeah, Chris came over to our team after and was like, oh, if anybody wants to like stay close to home because we're just down the road in London, like please reach out. Like you're welcome to look to get recruited here. I just emailed Chris and sent him film, and he came to some of my tournaments. I played against our assistant coach at Humber a lot because she had a club team. Yeah, I guess I just kept emailing him until he gave me a spot.
I'm in digital communications at Lakeshore campus. I like it a lot, actually. It's pretty interesting. It does pretty much everything that I have interest in. Video, design. They also have like content creation. But I think that's what I'm most interested in is video and photography, that type of production. I'm in advanced photography right now and learning the new techniques of different shots and different pictures you can take with a camera has been pretty interesting for me. That course has been one of my favorite courses so far. And my teacher, he's pretty cool too, so it's been an interesting semester.
My favorite course? Ooh, okay. In my program, I initially was just going here for props, but when I got to learn more about the different departments in theater, lighting was like my favorite. It just clicked for me, and I think I really owe the instructor a big props because they explained everything so well. I was able to absorb the information so easily that it just came natural to me. And yeah, I just love that class, and it's a department in theater that I want to pursue even more. In my program, it's mandatory to complete an internship. I was able to land an internship at Native Earth Performing Arts. I was able to work with other Indigenous creators, and I love that. Like, that's my dream after school, is to pursue something in the film industry or the theater industry, to work with other Indigenous artists and creators. That would just be such a dream for me to do. I just want to get in there any way I can.
So I'm studying psychology at Guelph Humber, and I chose psychology because I always had an interest in social sciences, and I really loved learning about the brain and why we behave in the ways that we do. So far, my favorite thing has been like the people that I've met. I just had the best year because of the people that were around me. My team was awesome this year. We were pretty successful, and I think a lot of our success came from the personalities on the team and how well we gelled together. Also, the routine that I have here, like, I really enjoy. I'm always busy because I'm either practice or lift or school, homework. I'm never really bored. My favorite class is probably in first semester, my intro to psych class. I loved it because it was like more of what I was expecting to learn in a psych course. It was like more behavior focused and about the brain. It went a little bit into like disorders that have to do with the brain, so it was really interesting to me.
Off the diamond, I just recently created this initiative with other Indigenous student athletes here at Humber. We first met in December of 2024. Our group at Humber is called the Turtle Island Athletic Circle. We just want to make sure that there's more Indigenous representation, education, awareness when it comes to the athletics department. Last year during our season, my coach came up to me and asked me like, hey, you should try and design the new t-shirt for our Every Child Matters games that we can wear during home games. And I was like, heck yeah, let's do that. So I got to collaborate with him and design our shirt. And that's the one I was wearing at practice. It was really cool because there's just a deeper meaning to that shirt, especially for me. And I think everyone should be able to do that if they can. By creating this circle at Humber, we can continue this legacy for future Indigenous student athletes that come here. Just because Humber is such a great athletic program and it's so close to different reserves in Ontario that sometimes kids seek out to the States to play Whereas if they come to Humber, they can stay close to home, close to their community. They can also play the sport they love.
The IE&E has a lot of events. Like I always get the notifications. They always email me about the stuff. They do a really good job of bringing students together and bringing Indigenous students together and like finding your people here.
At the home games here at Humber, whether it was basketball, volleyball, softball, and hopefully baseball next year, that the Indigenous Education IE&E Center would create signs of the Indigenous student athletes and go to their games. So I've been to the volleyball games, the basketball games, and then I played in my own games. So that was really good to see them. I really want to attend the event they have tomorrow. There's free soup, which I like. So I'm glad there's free soup.
And they have scholarships as well, I guess help you throughout the school year. Just having them there to show me scholarships and what I can do if I need money or if I need food or something. They're always there. They've helped me a lot in just figuring out how to even like register for courses or register for anything pretty much. So they've helped me a lot too at the Indigenous department.
It's also really good that there's like Indigenous student centers available for you, because then you can like meet other Native kids, which is so good because sometimes you just miss like Native humor and just laughing with each other. Like that's so healing. It's just like such a safe space. So I want to make sure that there's safe spaces here at Humber as well. I try to stay close with the Indigenous Education and Engagement Center here to learn about their programs, reach out to other Indigenous athletes here, and just make sure that there's programs here in the future and that it just doesn't fall off, because it's so important that we have to really push and advocate for Indigenous representation.
I've learned so much, not only just this year, but also just like playing a competitive sport growing up. I feel like I really understand discipline, I guess. You have to put the work in. Especially this year, I feel like, you know, like being a rookie, like kind of being at the bottom of the tier, I guess, just understanding that you have to work while you wait. My coach quotes that all the time. Your time will come. You have to, you know, trust the process and just put the work in and it'll show success soon enough.
My main goal for athletics would be to pave a way for other Indigenous kids from my community in basketball specifically. My dad, he's trying to get involved with the community on our reserve, just bringing basketball around. Because me growing up, I played other sports, but basketball I always really wanted to play, but we didn't have it. We'd have like camps and stuff, but we never had it like a team or anything of that sorts where I could actually play right on my reserve. I always had to go off reserve to play. I think just paving the way for kids who want to play basketball or figuring out certain things in school as well and finding different tools is my main goal, because that's why I went JUCO as well, to see where I could go and see how it's done in case my siblings or anybody asks me. Just learning from my journey and finding the right tools is my main goal, academically and athletically.
I would probably tell my younger self, like a grade 9 self, that it's okay to miss out. I think at that time I was really focused on wanting to hang out with my friends and not really be committed to sports or super committed to school. And I would like be upset if I had to miss a hangout because of practice or a tournament, but it's so worth it in the end. I think putting the work in early, you can be so successful, especially if you apply yourself in grade 9. Like 4 years in high school is a long time. If you just go in and work hard from the jump, like you're gonna be really good by the end.
I guess my advice would be just to make sure your school's in order, obviously. And if you really want something that it is accomplishable, if you put in the work, everybody says this, like you gotta grind and do all this stuff, but if you really want something and you know you can do it, I think that's where you have to start, is having that confidence in yourself to know, okay, I'm gonna go do this. I've seen other people do it. If somebody else can do it, so can I. Putting in the work in order to get where you want to be is the main thing. School-wise, if you want to get good grades, get an academic scholarship, that's always a possibility. If you want to play athletics, there's ways that you can get your name out there, film, certain things like that, sending your film to coaches. And because when I went JUCO, I sent my film to like 60 coaches. Yeah, like I was sending my film everywhere. just make it the biggest possibility ever, I guess, is my advice. And if you really want something, you can do it, and you just gotta put your mind to it and know that, have that confidence in yourself and know that you're able to accomplish bigger things than just finishing high school, I guess.
If you have a goal, just the smallest discipline of like going to class, do the work, don't get caught behind on assignments and stuff like that, like it really prepares you for the next step of education, and that'll translate to the core too, like just making sure like you go to practice, you put the work in, you're bound to be successful. I think Humber's success comes from their culture. Every team here has a goal, and it's a combined goal. Like, you know that you're contributing to something that's bigger than yourself. You're not there to win for you, you're there to win for your team, and you know, for Humber as a whole too. Humber they hold themselves to a higher standard here, and when you walk in, like you can feel it.
The advice I would give to my younger self, but also to the younger generations right now, is definitely stay in school. Like, staying in school and achieving your education is such a good thing you can do for yourself and your community. Your community will always support you no matter where you go, and you have to remember that you're doing it also for the next generations that are behind you as well. And I know it's really hard navigating the world at such a young age, but just know that you have a community back home, you have your family that's there to support you, and you always have things to look forward to. You have those role models, and in the future, you're gonna be a role model too for someone. You're not alone. I know sometimes it feels like you're alone in this world, maybe being like the only Indigenous kid in your class, but there's other kids out there that have gone through the same thing and that they're pushing through as well. So you just gotta stay strong, you gotta stay resilient, and just make sure that to be proud of where you come from and who you are and where you belong to.